Hi guys, Storm201 here, back again with another Nanoblock Unbuild and Rebuild video. And in this video, we're going to be recreating Pokemon number 150 from the National Pokedex, Mewtwo. A genetically created Pokemon that was designed in with the base DNA of Mew, but it grew so powerful that it actually went berserk from its human creators and is now running amok in the wild. And you first encounter it in the Cerulean Cave in Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, and in Japan, Pokemon Green. But for today's video, we're actually going to be recreating it in nanoblock form. So let me show you guys what I have done. I have separated all the, I have unbuilt the model as I intentionally did. And of course I separated all the pieces. I've got the purple T's here, there's 2x2s, the 2x3s, 1x3s, 1x4s, 1x2s, and there's going to be a lot of light greys here. So some light grey T's, some L's, 2x3s, 2x2s, who's 1x2s, 1x4s, 1x3s, 1x4s, 1x3s, and some white 1x2, 1x1s, a grey, well, a dark grey 1x2, and a black 1x1. Keep in mind, if you're going to be sorting out the pieces before you do the build, make sure that you actually separate the greys from each other, otherwise they're going to get mixed up. So it's best to do it under a bright light before you do any assembly, and if you're going to open up any bags, thanks and you're underage, make sure you get the help of an adult to get the bags open up for you. And then you can move on to the sorting stage right here, and then move on to step 1, which I'm going to do right now. So for this step, we're going to be using two purple T's right here, some 2x2s, 1x3s here, then two 2x2s, 1x3s here, and 1x2s. So that's going to be the pieces necessary for step 1, and it's time to get moving on to the build step. So step 1 is fully completed. Let me show you guys what I did. I started off with the grey 2x2s here. Then, of course, the purple T right here. Then a 1x3 at the back. The second grey 2x2 I've done right here. There's no warnings for the striations at the bottom of the bricks to be in any order. Then at the top, what I did was I started off with a 1x3 right here. Then I did a grey 1x2, followed by a purple 2x2 right here. Then I also put the bricks that were on the lower layer on underneath the top layer. Then I did a purple 1x3 right here, followed by a purple T, with another 2x2 here, then a 1x3 grey with a 1x2 right here. So we got ourselves a nice, good solid foundation, without me shaking my camera around, for the base of Mewtwo. So we are building up the base, the body of Mewtwo, so we're going to move on to step 2 of the build, where we're going to make more of the body. Okay, so the pieces for the second step are as follows. Purple 2x3 right here, followed by a purple T, then two 1x3s right here, and a 1x2. Next up for the greys, we've got two 2x3s right here, 4 1x2s, and 2 1x2s. So we're going to actually build up more of Mewtwo's legs and build up the upper body as the tail as well as we go along. So we're also right now it's just focusing on the lower bodies of Mewtwo so that we are ready for more of later on. So it's time for me to get moving and build step 2. Okay, so we have now done well, nearly done step 2 of the build. I thought I'd show you guys one of the important parts about the step. But before I do that, let me tell you what I've started off with. I started off with the purple 1x3 right here at the front as my landmark brick, which will be very helpful when you're building models, no matter how big or small they are, so that you know which direction you can go around, and of course to use when you're building the model. Then I did some 1x2s here in grey. Then behind the purple 1x3 was a purple 2x3. Then right here where my index finger is, a 1x2 right here, then a 1x3. And behind those two is a purple T, so that we've got something of a base for the foundations of the tail. Then we had to, I had to grab a 1x1 little grey and put them on each one of the two, 1x3 right here, then a 1x2 right here. Now for this, there is a 2x3 grey, but underneath it is a 1x2. So let me show you guys what I had to do for this step, which makes it a little bit more unique. You grab a 1x2 grey, and then 2x3 right here. you take the 1x2, sorry, and the 2x3, you put it on, and then you fill up the gap. Now, if the previous step, if step 1 still feels a little bit wonky to you, don't worry about it. It's just that it's a little bit loose, but once you moved on to step 2, it starts to get a little bit stronger and the model becomes a lot more easier to build. So just take this as a good sign that the model is building up nicely, and you should be all right. So now I'm going to gather the pieces I will need for step 3 of the build. Okay, so the pieces for this step are a purple 1x4, two 2x3s, a 1x3, 4 T's, and two 1x2s here for purple. Then for the light grey, we need some 2x3s, we need 3 of these, 2 L's, and 4 1x2s. So it's we're looking like we're going to carry on with the tail and more of the lower body of Mewtwo, which is what we want to get before moving on to the upper body and then more of Mewtwo's details. So we're going to now build step 3. We're now done with step 3 of the build, and this was a 3-layer process to begin with. So what I started off with was a purple 2x3 here at the front, so that gives more stability to the purple from step 2. Then I went to both sides with a 2x3 in grey, then a 1x2 on both sides so that we had more of the thighs finish of Mewtwo's thighs. Then behind those was a purple T on both sides, one on the left and one on the right. Then at the back was a purple 1x3. Make sure that it is the 1x3 instead of the 1x4, and that there is a little gap in between in that that layer. Otherwise, you're gonna if you use the 1x4, you're gonna have a very wonky tail, and that would bring imbalance into the model. So make sure that you do use the 1x3 before making the final assembly. Next up, the next layer, there was I used a grey 1x2 right here, then a grey L, followed that up with a purple T, where the loose part of the T comes forward instead of inwards, so that it's got the nice curve that you can normally see on Mewtwo. Then another L, and then a 1x2 right here again. Then at the back was a purple 2x3, then another purple T with the point aiming outwards of the model. Then here at the top was a grey 2x3 right here. Then at the back, for the third part of this layer, a purple 1x2 right here, then another 1x2 on the right hand side. Now, as you can see, the 1x4 here is away from the grey here, and in line with the 1x2s right here, and it's perfectly over the T that was put on the layer underneath it. One thing that I've got to mention that when doing the middle layer of this step is you have to make sure that the T is in line with the 2x3. Otherwise, it's going to look really wonky and it's not much of a tail. So just be careful when you're doing the T that it is in line with the 2x3 before it. The best way to do this is do the 2x3 first and then put the T on. So with that step and tip over and done with, I'm going to get everything ready for step 4, where we're going to finish off the tail and then work our way up towards Mewtwo's torso by starting out the foundations for his arms. And the pieces for step 4 are really easy. You need two 2x3s right here and a 1x3. These will be the pieces that will finish off Mewtwo's tail, and that's the rest. That's the end of the purple pieces. For the greys, we need a 1x4, two 1x4s right here and a 1x2, so that we can start working on Mewtwo's upper body, including his arms. So we're going to get started on this step. Okay, so step 4 is now over and done with. What I had to do was the two 2x3s in the purple, I had to put them on one on top of the other, and then the 1x3 right here at the in the middle, right in the front. That way it can attach itself to the tail, right here. If you're a little unsure about how to do it, take a look at the instructions that you've got. It should be a little more clearer, but if you're still uncertain about it, refer to my videos so that you can get a better understanding of it. Then we have got what I did was the grey 1x4 here, then a 1x2 right here, followed by a 1x4 right here. Now make sure that the 1x4s are put right at the back edge, so that right here, so that there's a little gap. Otherwise, if one is in front of the other, it's going to look a little bit odd and it's not going to give the proper balance for Mewtwo's arms. So make sure that when you do this step, you take the instructions and you make sure that the 1x4s are at the back of the 2x3 from the previous step instead of the front. And with that, I'm now going to get to work on step 5 by gathering the pieces that I will need. And for this step, it's really easy. We're going to finish off Mewtwo's arms before we work up towards the head area of Mewtwo. So we need some T's right here, grey T's, some grey L's, and some 1x4s right here. So it's best for me to show what you have to do in this step before doing the final assembly. You grab a 1x4, then an L. You put the L underneath one end of the 1x4, depending on which arm you do. Then you grab the T right here, and you got yourself one of Mewtwo's arms. Now, the same can be done on the other arm. Just try to make sure that the arms aren't as consistent as each other. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit confusing. So, for the next assembly, you just put the other end of the 1x4 on like so. And there we go. If you want to make sure that the arm is nice and stable, make sure that the L is attached onto the 1x4 more securely before putting it all together. Otherwise, it's just going to be a little bit funny with the final assembly. But anyway, that is that for step number 5 of the build. So I'm going to get the pieces for step 6. So for this step, we're going to need 2 grey 2x3s right here, then 2 1x3s, followed by 3 1x1s, and 2 1x2s. So we're actually going to build up what looks like the collarbone area for Mewtwo. So I'm going to get started on the next step. I've now nearly done step 6 of the build. I'm just going to show you what I had to do with these 2 pieces there in a minute. I want to direct your attention to what I did first. First of all, a grey 1x3 right here for a good solid foundation piece. Then a 1x3 on both sides here and here. Then in between the middle of the foundation piece, I did a 1x3 right here. Then a grey 1x1 so that we've got what looks like the back of Mewtwo done. Now here we've done a 2x3 right here, and underneath it is a 1x2. So let me show you what I had to do for this. I grabbed the 2x3 in my right hand and the 1x2 in my left. I then attached a 1x2 right in front of the 2x3. And of course, you have to make sure that when you're doing either the left-hand side or the right-hand side, that there is a gap showing from the 1x2. Otherwise, it's just going to look inconsistent. So then I grabbed I put the 2x3 on like that. So we are done with this step of the build, and we can now move on to gathering the pieces necessary for step 7. Okay, so the pieces for this step are 2 1x1s in light grey, 2 L's, a 2x2 right here, 3 2x3s, and 3 1x4s. So it looks like we're now going to start work on Mewtwo's head. So we need to get a good solid base foundation for the head. Step 7 is now over and done with. So I'm going to show you guys what I had to do first and foremost. As you can see where my index finger is, I started off with a 1x4 right here. And of course I made sure that the back was aligned with the 2x3 from the previous step. Then in front of, right next to it, was another 1x4, but I had to make sure that it was brought forward one peg so that another grey 1x1 was fitted. Make sure that when you do this step, you do not get a that you do not put that 1x4 right in front of this one at the back of the neck. Otherwise, it will ruin, mess up the build a little bit. But it's easy to fix as long as you have the right tool. Then I did another 1x4 right here so that we are done with the base. On the top here, I started off right here, where my index finger is, with a 2x3. Then in front of that was another 2x3. When that was done, I went round here with a 2x2. Then to the back with 2 L's, here and here, where the gaps were facing inwards to the back, towards the tail. Then another 2x3 right here. And finally another 1x1, so that we are so that we've done more of Mewtwo's head. So with that done, we can now move on to step 8 of the model, where we're going to build up Mewtwo's face. So we've gathered all the pieces that we're going to need for step 8 of the build. We need 4 2x3s here in grey, light grey, 3 1x3s, 2 Ls, and 5 1x2s. Then, to help out with the eyes, we need 2 black 1x1s, 2 dark grey 1x2s, or normal grey, depending on how you look at it, and then 2 white 1x1s. So, just remember that when you're sorting out the bricks, that you have to separate the colors first before doing the actual build, and of course the organizing before or anything else. Otherwise, you could get the pieces mixed up, and it might make the model look a little awkward. But anyway, with that said, I'm going to now get started on the next step of the build. Okay, so the step is now complete. For step 8, I started off with a light grey 1x3 right here at the front, then 2 grey 1x2s on both sides. Then I placed a black 1x1 for the pupils of the eyes here and here. Once that was done, I had to go with a 2x3 here for the sides of the head. Then at the back was a light grey L on both sides. Nice. And then finally the 1x2 here, so that these pieces would all stick together. Next up here at the top, as you can see, another light grey 2x3. I don't know why it's out of focus. Now it's back in. Then the dark grey 1x2 on both sides, followed by a white 1x1. Then a grey 1x2 here and here, followed by a 1x3 here and here. And then finally, to make sure that the curve right here, whatever it is, at the back of Mewtwo's head, a 2x3 right here, so that it all sticks together, so that it doesn't shake around. So with that done, I'm now going to gather the next lot of pieces for step 9, where we're going to finish off Mewtwo's face and give him that iconic glaring look that he's well known for. Okay, so the pieces for step 9 that we'll need are 2 white 1x1s, 3 2x3s here, a 1x2 in light grey, same with the 2x3s here, 3 1x3s in the same color, 3 2x2s, 4 Ls. Those are the pieces that we'll need. So I'm now going to get started on step 9 of the build. Okay, so more of the Mewtwo model is now done. What I did was I started off with the 2x3, the 1x3 at the white 1x1s here on both sides of the face, so that the skull can be completed. Then I did the 2x3 here at the right here, then a 2x2 so that it's got a nice solid foundation. Then at the front, a 1x3 here so that the face looks complete. Then I went backwards, starting off with 2 more 2x2s for behind the white 1x1s. Then at the back was a 1x3 for this side right here. Then a 1x2 to finish it off. And at the back, after that was another 1x3 here at the back of the head. Now at the top, I did a 2x3 right here at the front. Then for the L's, I had to make sure that the gaps for the front two were filled up by the white 1x1s from the layer below. So whatever you do, do not put the L's in front of here with the 2x3. It does look a little tempting, but whatever you do, just make sure that the L's also have their gap filled by the white 1x1 from the last step. Then I did the other light grey L's right here and here, followed by a 2x3 to finish up the back side of the head. So now I'm going to gather the pieces needed for step 10. Okay, so the pieces that we'll need for step 10 of the model are 2 2x3s, 3 2x2s. I don't know where the third one is gone. I'll go take a look at that for that later. I'm not sure I'll find it. A grey T, E, and 4 L's. No, sorry, it was the 2x2s. Sorry, I'm losing it again. It happens. That's what you get when you're making these videos. But anyway, I'm now going to make the next step, step 10. Okay, so we are now done with the top of Mewtwo's head, practically his crown. So what I had to do was I started off with a grey 1x3 here at the front, where my index finger is. Then behind it was two 2x3s in complete succession to each other. Then two grey L's, one here and one here, where the gap was facing away from the eyes. So one L has to be facing southeast and the other southwest. If you know where southeast and southwest are, you should be okay with this step. If not, just put the L's where they facing one facing that way and the other facing that way, and you should have what I call the compass point. So so the next step after that was another grey 1x3 here at the front, then a grey T behind that, followed by two L's again where the gaps are facing northeast and northwest. So once those pieces were done, I had to grab the two grey 2x2s here and here, so that we are done with most of Mewtwo's body. And I say most because we've only got one more step to do, which is step 11, and those are Mewtwo's feet. So for this, we need two 2x2s and two 2x1s. And what we have to do for each one is grab a 2x2 and the 2x1, put the 2x1 on top of the 2x2 like so. Same again. And then turn the model around upside down. And then make sure that the grey pieces do not touch any of the purple. And we're done. Mewtwo is fully completed and ready to invoke his dominance on the Pokemon battlefield. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, why not check out my latest video right here. If you haven't got anything to watch on the weekend or one of your days off, why not check out my playlist right here. And if you aren't a subscriber to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified on my latest videos. Hope to see you again soon. Happy gaming. See you around.